Before Christianity, the British Isles were rich with pagan beliefs and practices. These ancient traditions were deeply rooted in the daily lives of the people, influencing their understanding of the world around them. The landscape itself, with its rolling hills and sacred groves, was imbued with spiritual significance. The Celts, arriving in the Iron Age, brought a mythology and a priestly caste known as Druids. These Druids were not just religious leaders, but also served as judges, teachers, and law keepers, holding a revered position in society. Druids conducted rituals, offered sacrifices, and preserved ancient wisdom. Their ceremonies often involved complex rites and the use of sacred objects, believed to connect them with the divine. Celtic deities were often linked to natural phenomena, like the sun god, who was central to their worship. These gods and goddesses were thought to control the elements and ensure the fertility of the land, and goddesses of fertility and rivers. These deities were invoked during important agricultural cycles, ensuring bountiful harvests and the well-being of the community. Rituals were performed in natural settings, believed to possess spiritual potency. Sacred groves, rivers, and hills were common sites for these ceremonies, where the natural world was seen as a bridge to the divine. The Celts believed in an other world, evident in their burial practices. They buried their dead with goods and offerings, reflecting a belief in an afterlife where the deceased would need these items. The cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth mirrored the changing seasons. This belief was central to their understanding of existence, with festivals marking the transitions between seasons. While Christianity overshadowed these beliefs, remnants persisted, blending with Christian traditions. This fusion created a unique cultural tapestry, where ancient pagan customs subtly influenced the new Christian practices, leaving a lasting legacy in the region. The arrival of Christianity marked a significant turning point in England's religious landscape, transforming the spiritual and cultural fabric of the region. Before this, the land was steeped in pagan traditions and rituals, deeply rooted in the daily lives of its people. Roman soldiers and merchants likely introduced the new faith during their occupation and trade interactions. These early seeds of Christianity were sown through the mingling of cultures and ideas, setting the stage for a more profound transformation. The pivotal moment came with St. Augustine's arrival in 597 AD. Sent by Pope Gregory I, Augustine's mission was to convert the Anglo-Saxons. His efforts were instrumental in spreading Christianity widely across the land. Augustine established a monastery at Canterbury, which quickly became a center of Christian learning and scholarship. This institution played a crucial role in educating the clergy and lay people alike, fostering a new era of intellectual growth. Missionaries worked tirelessly to convert Anglo-Saxon kings, whose acceptance of Christianity was pivotal in the broader Christianization of their kingdoms. These conversions often led to the establishment of churches and the spread of Christian teachings among the populace. The conversion process was not without its challenges. It involved a delicate blending of Christian beliefs with existing pagan practices. This syncretism helped ease the transition for many, allowing them to retain familiar traditions while adopting new ones. Over time, pagan festivals like Yule and Beltane were reinterpreted and transformed into Christian celebrations such as Christmas and Easter. This adaptation helped to integrate the new faith into the cultural fabric of the society. Monasteries like Iona and Lindisfarne became bastions of knowledge, preserving classical texts and spreading literacy. These centers of learning were instrumental in the cultural and intellectual development of medieval England. Over the centuries, Christianity became deeply ingrained in English society, shaping its cultural, social, and intellectual landscape. The faith's influence can still be seen today in the country's traditions, values, and institutions. The Middle Ages saw Roman Catholicism firmly established in England. The Catholic Church influenced every aspect of medieval society. The sacramental system marked key moments in life, providing a framework for spiritual growth. Monasteries served as centers of devotion, learning, and social welfare. The Church wielded political power, often challenging kings and emperors. Gothic cathedrals stand as testaments to the architectural grandeur and religious devotion of the period. The 16th century marked a dramatic turning point with the English Reformation. This period was characterized by significant religious, political, and social upheaval that would forever change the course of English history. King Henry VIII's break from the Roman Catholic Church altered England's religious landscape. His decision was driven by both personal and political motives as he sought greater autonomy from the Pope and the Catholic Church. Henry's desire to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon was the immediate catalyst. The Pope's refusal to grant the annulment led Henry to take drastic measures, ultimately resulting in the establishment of the Church of England. In 1534, Henry declared himself the supreme head of the Church of England. This bold move effectively severed ties with the Roman Catholic Church and placed religious authority in the hands of the English monarchy. The Church of England retained many Catholic practices initially, as Henry VIII was not a Protestant reformer at heart. He sought to maintain traditional rituals and doctrines while asserting his control over the Church, but gradually embraced Protestant reforms. Over time, the influence of Protestant thinkers and reformers began to shape the Church of England, leading to significant changes in its practices and beliefs. The Reformation led to religious persecution, political intrigue, and social unrest. The shift in religious power created tensions between different factions, resulting in conflicts that would persist for decades. The dissolution of monasteries enriched the crown and empowered new landowners. Henry VIII's policies led to the redistribution of church lands, which had far-reaching economic and social consequences. The Reformation paved the way for new Protestant denominations like Puritanism. These emerging groups sought to further reform the church and society, laying the groundwork for future religious movements in England and beyond. The 17th century saw intense religious and political turmoil with Puritanism at the center. Puritans sought to purify the Church of England of Catholic remnants. Their desire for further reform brought them into conflict with the Stuart monarchs. Tensions between the Crown and Parliament led to the English Civil War. Parliamentarians, led by Oliver Cromwell, emerged victorious. Under Cromwell, Puritanism became the dominant religious force. Theaters were closed, Christmas celebrations banned, and Sunday became a day of prayer. The Restoration marked a return to a more relaxed social and religious climate. The 18th century's Enlightenment profoundly impacted religious thought in England. Enlightenment thinkers championed reason, empiricism, and individual liberty. They questioned religious dogma and advocated for religious tolerance. John Locke argued for the separation of church and state. The rise of deism viewed God as a watchmaker, rejecting revealed religion. The Act of Toleration of 1689 granted some religious freedom to nonconformists. The Enlightenment paved the way for greater religious pluralism. The 20th and 21st centuries saw dramatic changes in England's religious landscape. The Church of England experienced a decline in attendance and influence. Secularism, scientific advancements, and philosophical movements led many to question traditional beliefs. Immigration brought new faiths, enriching England's religious tapestry. Islam, Hinduism, Sikhism, and Buddhism established a growing presence. Increased religious diversity fostered interfaith dialogue and cooperation. It also raised questions about national identity and social cohesion. Christianity remains the largest religion, but no longer holds a dominant position. Religious communities navigate a rapidly changing world, seeking relevance in a secular and diverse society.